listening to the Dynamic Women podcast. Each week, you'll be inspired by our global community of women. They'll share with you tools and stories to help you be dynamic in every area of life. Here's your host, award-winning coach, and the CEO and founder of Dynamic Women, Diane Rolston.
We are starved for this. And I want to ask you, are you part of the problem? Are you part of the problem of not giving this to people? I'm going to share what this is in this today and how you can make sure that you do it daily. Because really, if you're doing this thing properly, if you're doing this action properly every single day, you'll build your network. You'll attract more connections. You'll build stronger relationships. You'll retain employees longer. And overall, you will be happier. You will be happier. So first of all, what is it that the world is starved for? The world is starved for recognition, appreciation. Those two things, recognition and appreciation. And I think a lot of it comes from what would be considered the number one limiting belief, which is I am not enough. We are constantly judging ourselves. We are putting ourselves up to high standards. Now, maybe not everyone the same standards, but there's always things that check it, like, are we good enough, doing enough, being enough, achieving enough, successful enough, have enough money? There's always this judgment that happens by us, by others, by society, by standards, whatever it may be. And so it's very easy for us to feel starved for recognition, starved for appreciation, because we're needing to feel like we're enough. So are you part of the problem? Are you not appreciating others? Are you not recognizing others? Or are you on the receiving end of not getting enough recognition and not feeling appreciated? First of all, if this is happening to you or happening to those around you, this is how people feel. When you are not recognized or appreciated, you feel a little bit like, why bother? Why am I bothering to show up for my friend? Why am I bothering to do these things for my family? Why am I bothering to work so hard for my company or this other person's company? And when you're in that place of why bother, you feel apathetic. You're not driven. You're not really wanting to achieve. Can you relate to that? What area in your life do you feel underappreciated? Have you done things that have gone unrecognized? Maybe you donate your time to an organization and you don't feel like you're appreciated. Maybe you've worked hard every single day for a company and you don't get even a thanks every once in a while. Maybe you feel like your performance reviews are, focusing on what you can do better, but not what you've done well. So if you are suffering from this, I'm sorry. This sucks. I'm kind of on a mission to teach how people can very easily combat this. And if we just change the conversations we're having by doing this one thing I'm going to share about in a moment, the world would be a better place. As I said, if you do this thing, you're going to build your network. And whether your network is for business or for friendships or to find a romantic partner, who knows? You're going to be able to build your network, attract more connections, build stronger relationships, retain employees longer, and overall, you will be happier. So do you want to know what this very, very simple thing is that you can do to help people feel recognized and appreciated? You can acknowledge others. You can acknowledge others. I'm sure you already know how to compliment someone. That's a beautiful jacket. Oh, I just love those boots. Oh, this meal was so delicious. Or your new hair looks great. Where'd you get that necklace? It's gorgeous. So I'm sure you already know how to compliment. Now we move to acknowledging a person for who they are, what they have done, who they're being. This tells the person that they have good qualities, that they are good and being seen as good. So let me explain a little bit about how an acknowledgement works. It's really simple. It's 4 words or it's 5 words, and it goes like this. The 5-word version is you, are, and then an adjective, which is a describing word of a person, hopefully a positive one if you want to do an acknowledgement, and then the role or title that they have, like sister, brother, mother, father, friend. You probably don't want to say like employee, but you might want to say their title, cashier or receptionist, manager, whatever it may be. And we can acknowledge for really any role or any title, or we can knock that off completely. That's the 5-word version. So let me give an example. So if we had driven as the adjective and entrepreneur as the title, it would be you are a driven entrepreneur. Now, what if our friends or my daughter, my daughter made this beautiful dream big picture. So it's a kind of one of those things where the color's underneath and the black's on top, and she scraped it out, and it was really cool how she did all these patterns on it. So I could say to her, what adjective would I use? Creative, maybe imaginative, and what title could I give her? I could call her an artist. I could call her a designer. So I can say to her, you are a creative artist, or you are an imaginative designer. So there are different ways that you can give this. Now, by me saying that to someone else, by you saying that to someone else, you are giving them a word gift. It's an acknowledgement to who they are as a person. You are witnessing something good in them, a good skill, a good quality, a good trait. And how would you feel if you received one of these acknowledgements? Pretty darn good, wouldn't you? You'd feel awesome. You'd be like, wow, that's cool. Now, the key thing is if you want them to have that reaction of like, wow, that was neat. I just got this really amazing compliment. Then you want to make sure that you stop after the 5 words. Now, the 4-word version is you're a loving mother. So that the you are becomes your. So I kind of see that as a little joke because it's supposed to be super duper simple. If you tag on any words on the end, explaining why they're creative. So imagine I said to my daughter, wow, you're a creative artist because you did these really beautiful swirls and you came up with this idea of making these flowers. Now I know with this piece of art, she did it at a friend's house and the mother was the one who had them to do this activity and she led them through it. And I feel like, and I know this for sure, but I feel like kind of some of the creativity or some of the design choice came from what the mother was showing them. So if I had said to my daughter, hey, you're such a creative artist because look at these beautiful swirly flowers you decided to make. The truth is she might not have decided to make them. Now, in the big scheme of things, does that matter? No, it doesn't. She still did it. And she's still creative in the action of doing it. But what she'll remember is, oh yeah, but my friend's mom showed me how to do those. That was actually her idea. So that means I'm not creative. The person might not go that far in saying that, but I want you to be thinking about short and sweet. Just give them the full compliment, the full acknowledgement, and drop it there. Now, sometimes I have clients that want to, or women in my dynamic women community, when I do this activity with them, where they want to like add on more adjectives. And that's fine if you want to maybe add one more additional. So maybe you say you're a loving and caring friend. Loving and caring, that's fine, have those two things. But wouldn't it be nice to use one and make it the focal point, the center of it? And you can also say, like, drop the title, drop the role, and just say, you're so loving, you're so loyal, you're so dedicated, you're so strong. But it sometimes helps to give a little context. If I said to a friend of mine, wow, you're so strong, is that physically strong, mentally strong, emotionally strong, strong to get through things? If I said, you're such a strong athlete, then we know it's physically strong. You're such a strong friend, meaning the support is strong. So sometimes giving the title or the role gives some context. So back to in the beginning when I said that the world is starved for appreciation and recognition. If you are going to help to solve this problem, let's talk about what that would look like. So you're in conversation with someone, they tell you a story about how they had to face kind of a hardship and they had to do something that felt scary, but they did it anyway. And even in the face of adversity, of tragedy, there still can be strength, there still can be courage, there can be the act of being brave. So why not use those words? So let's say someone had surgery that they had to face, or they're going to be facing, and you said, you're such a courageous woman. Left it at that, just let that land. That's going to positively affect that person's circumstances. If you gave it as more of a compliment after they've done something, like you showed up at someone's office for a meeting and you see how everything's so organized and you compliment them on that. Wow, you're such an organized person. Look at this. Wow, you're so organized, right? Then they will feel good about the things that they have done. Now, if it's in relationship with someone, so maybe it doesn't come from a story. So someone's telling you a story. They were a loving mom because their kid was up all through the night and they're tired, but they were with their child the whole night. So you're a loving mother. Acknowledge after a story is told. You can do it upon greeting someone, or after they've finished or completed something. You can also say it in general in relation to that person. So you're a loyal friend, you're such a supportive mother, whatever it may be. There are different times that we can do it. That is going to sit in the person and just be so amazing for them. Because imagine if you received an acknowledgement like one of the ones I just shared. You definitely feel positive. You're going to feel more confident and you're going to feel more motivated to try even harder, especially on the specific thing that you said. It's going to start to squash. It's going to start to push down the saboteur's negative thoughts and negative self-judgments and negative limiting beliefs that come up. This compliment, this acknowledgement, recognition, appreciation is so simple. I encourage you to look for opportunities to give these gifts. They don't cost a penny. But man, especially with what's going on in the world today, we really need to be seen in a positive way. We need to be reinforced and given that energy of an acknowledgement from someone else. And then that will ripple out to others. Maybe they then look to acknowledge others as well. Maybe you will start to get acknowledged more. You see, when you do this in an authentic way, It builds positivity and awesomeness with you and that person, but then in both of you as you continue about your day. So if you're listening to this message today, I ask you, are you part of the problem that people are starved for recognition and appreciation? Or do you want to be part of the solution? Do you want to be someone who just goes about their day every week, every month, continuing to acknowledge others and know that when you do, you will be rewarded? This is one aspect of pillar number 6 in my Dynamic You program and book, where I talk about being magnetic. And when you can do this to connect with others, to be more approachable, to be positive, people will be drawn to you. This is how I said that you're going to be able to build your network if you do this action every day. You're going to be able to attract more connections. You're going to build stronger relationships. If you have employees, you'll retain them longer. And overall, you will be happier. It doesn't cost you a thing to say these 4 or 5 words. I encourage you to do so. Let me know how many you could do in one day. How many can you do in one day? 5, 10, 100? Count how many you can do in one day. Let me know how it goes, and let me know how the other person responded. How did you make them feel by giving them that acknowledgement? You don't have to ask them, just see, check in with them. Like, what do you notice? How did they receive it? I am a coach, a speaker, and I run the Dynamic Women Global Club. It's a place I love to go live, and I love to give tips and tricks and trainings on how to be more dynamic in all areas of life. This is a complimentary group, and you are more than welcome to check out the Dynamic Women Global Club, where you can join as a member and we can hang out more and you can connect with other amazing women. I really appreciate you. You are a committed person to be listening until this point. And I just appreciate you, because without you being here to listen to what I have to say and to do these things in the world, I couldn't do the work I do. So thank you very much. Wishing you the most dynamic day. Bye.
Thank you, Dynamic Women, for joining us today. Please hop on over to iTunes to subscribe and leave us a review. Who do you know who needs to hear our message? We'd love it if you'd share our channel with your friends and family. If you're ready to be more dynamic, have more balance and more success, head over to www.dynamicwomenclub.com/free gift for your Key to Success book. Stay dynamic.